Hey guys, we got some more very busy, fast-paced, high-speed energy going on today. We still have a Gemini moon going on. Mercury, of course, is also in the sign of Gemini, ruling Gemini. So these Gemini-Mercury themes, very prominent today. We also have that moon in Gemini going to be forming a square to Mars in Pisces. And the sun is only 1 degree out of exact conjunction to Uranus. So this is a week of expect the unexpected, you guys, and we're definitely going to want to be trying to slow down and sort of think before we speak, before we jump into any type of sudden or hasty action in this energy. We also now have Venus in the sign of Aries as well, sort of lighting the fire underneath us to sort of move forward and start pursuing those things that we really want and desire to bring into our reality right now. So lots of energy to talk about today, lots unfolding, sun very close to Uranus in the sky. Expect the unexpected this week. Let's jump into the report and see how this energy is unfolding for us today. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. Let's get it started. First off, very strong emphasis on the Gemini Mercury vibes going on today. Again, we do have Mercury currently in the sign of Gemini. Mercury is in rulership in Gemini. This definitely puts an emphasis on all Mercury and Gemini type things. We're talking about thoughts, ideas, communication, conversation, news, information, what we're learning, what we're talking about, what we're teaching, things going back and forth, short distance trips. This can also bring up siblings and just generally a very busy, fast-paced energy. Although Mercury is slowing down, stationing, preparing to station. This is going to be coming up very soon. So this is sort of tempering this just a little bit, but with Mercury in Gemini and the moon also in Gemini today, this is our emotions and our feelings really lining up with our thoughts. We may really be speaking our mind in this energy today, yesterday as well. But with the moon in Gemini also forming a square to Mars in Pisces today, this could sort of create some scenarios where speaking our mind, speaking our feelings, speaking our emotional truth, talking about, what's really going on inside of us may be bringing up some type of conflict, some type of argument, or some type of inner tension or irritability that could be going on in this energy. Moon square Mars. This aspect generally has a tendency of causing us to feel a sense of inner angst, inner irritability, and as a result may be having a desire to take it out on the people, places, circumstances, things around us. This is energy where a lot of needless disputes, arguments, and fights can arise or go on that, we're not really that invested in, that really aren't that big of a deal to us, really sort of more acting on annoyances or irritability, sort of snapping a little bit in this energy. But we want to be careful doing that, especially right now with the sun in a conjunction to Uranus and Venus in Aries and the moon and Mercury and Gemini forming this square, because it can really have us perhaps taking action or saying things before we really think them through that can create some type of conflict or just more negative situation that we really don't want to be dealing with that much moving forward. And when Mars is in square to Mercury, that's sometimes what can happen. It's we might snap on someone or a situation or something. It's really not that big of a deal to us, but just in this moment, we're but then later sort of comes back to bite us by creating some type of bigger, overblown issue than we actually had in the first place. So something to keep in mind just right off the bat when we have the moon forming the square to Mars. But in consideration of the sign placement, also the fact that we do have Mercury in Gemini as well right now with the moon, this obviously puts again an emphasis on everything related to what we're thinking and what we're feeling. This is a fusion of the mind and the emotions in this energy forming the square to Mars. We may be, as I said, speaking our feelings, and this may cause some type of conflict in terms of other people's beliefs about things or other people's spiritual understanding or grasp of reality could be coming up in this energy today. This could also present issues with people avoiding communication or avoiding conversations that really need to be had and presenting in much more of a passive aggressive energy. something that we could be dealing with the moon in Gemini forming the square to Mars and Pisces in this mutable energy as well. It also could be like the choices and decisions that we're making right now, bringing up some type of an internal conflict or a conflict in our lives that we're experiencing as a result of, again, this mental and emotional alignment that we may be coming to right now that is causing us to perhaps be making some radically different choices, Sun conjunct Uranus, in the way that we are moving through life in this moment. Arguments, disputes, debates, disagreements, all of this very, very prominent when we have these particular aspects playing out. And again, there is also an aspect of needlessness ultimately to what we may be engaging in these disputes about today, just because, again, it has a tendency to like emphasize our annoyances, like emphasize our irritations and make us sort of like project those out and just be ready to sort of like take somebody down, like swing the sword at somebody, really snap at somebody in this energy. And we just want to watch doing that because, again, with Uranus in play and Venus and Aries and all of this Mercury Mars square energy, we just don't really want to like bite off more than we can chew today in terms of the bear that we maybe feel like poking in this energy. So something to keep in mind, be very careful also in the energy that we have going on right now. Again, be very careful with these rash, hasty, impulsive, like sudden, spontaneous actions, decisions, speech that may be coming out of our mouth, because we generally just may be feeling quite fired up about things today and quite adamant about our thoughts and our feelings and, the direction that we want to move in right now. And we just want to be sure that we're not creating too many waves that we don't really want to surf later, if you know what I mean. This could also be energy where like other people's words or other people's thoughts or ideas or opinions being projected or presented at us could be sort of disturbing our peace in some type of way or disturbing the image that we are aligning with right now personally. Another aspect of this energy is that we may feel as though we are sort of like under attack in one way or another by others. And again, their thoughts or their ideas or their opinions sort of being like directed at us today in a way that brings up some conflict or doesn't exactly resonate with what is bringing us our sense of peace and comfort and balance. But we should be sure to like, again, this like thinking before we speak, thinking before we act, like double check, you guys, like, am I really being attacked right now? Or am I just being a little overly sensitive in this energy? That's another thing. Like our ego may be feeling a little bit like bruised in this energy. We may be feeling a little bit oversensitive and taking things a little bit too personally as well. So we want to keep that in mind. I mean, to the point that we actually have Mars today at 15 degrees of Pisces, and that Sabian symbol is an officer drilling his men in a simulated attack. So even the Sabian symbol, the symbolic placement of the degree where Mars is today is talking about a simulated attack, like these simulated battles or situations. So it's just a very high indication in this energy that we just don't want to go overboard on things. We don't want to take things too personally today. If we feel like our thoughts or our emotions or again, like our feelings are not being validated or are being criticized by the opinions, thoughts, judgments of others, we don't really want to take that as like a personal attack on ourselves and really like attach to that and get these negative feelings about it. We really want to realize that there is a definite ability to be a little overly emotional in this energy, a little bit overly sensitive in this energy, and there may be some perceived attacks that as like the smoke clears and this day goes on and the moon moves out of Gemini tomorrow and out of square with Mars, we realize just weren't what we thought they were or weren't that big of a deal, and we sort of overreacted. There's a lot also, you guys, of energy for like misunderstandings bringing conflict in this energy as well, with, Gemini, Mercury, the moon there ruling our understanding of things, coming into a conflict or a square aspect tension with Mars and Pisces. This could just be bringing up some misunderstandings that makes us feel like attacked or just brings up some more aggressive energy in some type of way. But again, we do not want to attach to that today. We really want to slow down. We don't want to take things personally. And we really want to be, careful that we're just not being a little bit oversensitive. And that is what is really provoking maybe some of these issues that we are experiencing as we navigate this energy. But Other than that, this is a very, very busy day again, very, very busy energy, likely to be having a lot of things to do, a lot of places to go, a lot of people to talk to, learning some information, big news information, like all of this. And let's not forget, you guys, the second big thing that we have going on today is that Uranus and the sun are in a 1-degree orb off conjunction to each other. This is like huge. And in the sign of Taurus, this is indicating some dynamic changes that are perhaps coming this week. We are in a week of expect the unexpected, sudden, like spontaneous, unexpected, out of the blue things happening, especially in regards to relationships, finances, material comforts, projects, like structure, stability, what brings us like pleasure, relating to other people, work projects, work relationships, these partnership dynamics that we have going on. These are the areas of life that are more likely to be experiencing some of these sudden dynamic shifts or changes going on this week. Also, economies, resources, food, supply chains, things coming from the earth and of the earth generally. This could also be bringing some like earthquakes or some like powerful storms and stuff like that, just like on earth this week. With this happening in an earth sign, the sign of Taurus, could also be like disrupting food production and stuff like that, as that is also ruled by Taurus. So we have this underway as well. And, it's like we may, in this energy today, it's like the things that also we may be learning or finding out or awakening to, or the shifts or the changes or the sudden things that may be happening may also be sort of bringing up this moon square Mars energy, this internal conflict. And it's very likely to have to do with things that we're hearing, conversations that we're having, news or information that we are learning, or again, these work-related themes like projects, partnerships, financial dynamics and stuff like that coming up, awakening to something, gaining a revelation in regards to something, really learning something that opens our eyes in some type of way, and again can be bringing up some type of disputes, conflicts, debates, just these interchanges that are a little bit more like tense in nature. And also, though, it is definitely for the purpose of rearranging things for us in some type of way that is going to lead to a more optimal level of growth and expression somehow, with this happening in the sign of Taurus and Uranus being the fixer, the great rectifier, the silver lining planet. So big adjustments, changes, shifts coming this week. And today on Tuesday, again, we're really just going to want to sort of practice self-discipline, practice self-control. These are some very important themes that are also coming through in the energy in the chart today, alongside of the aspects. Another part of what we have going on this week, Venus has now moved into the sign of Aries, which is interesting because Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is in the square today with the moon from Gemini, where Mercury also is right now. So again, this Venus moving into Aries, now this is doing a couple things for us. Venus and Aries, this is really like lighting the fire within us to really start pursuing and going after those things that we want, those things that we desire, those things that bring us pleasure or that we're just seeking after at this point in time. Venus in Aries is very assertive about getting what they want. And we're also about to be having Jupiter moving into Aries as well, which is going to really, really supersize and expand this dynamic. Venus in Aries is very much about pioneering and being independent and moving forward in her own direction towards pursuing her desires. So that energy is very prominent in the chart as well today. This just sort of like inspiration coming through to really get the ball rolling in terms of going after the things that we want. But with Venus moving into Aries right now, specifically today, while we have the moon in a square to Mars, the ruler of Aries, again, this sort of might be bringing up some situations where it's like our wants or our desires are actually creating conflict either within us or externally in some type of way, like in terms of like, how do we go about getting them? This also could be bringing up arguments and these conflicts or these debates or these disagreements regarding getting what we want, how we're going to meet our desires, how we're going to go after and pursue what we truly wish for, want, and desire at this point in time. This also could, again, be bringing up conflicts or disagreements today in regards to these Taurus Venus themes: money, resources, relationships, partnerships, financial dynamics, all that type of stuff, beauty, comfort, material support and stability, all that type of stuff is very much so could like part of what the conflicts could be surrounding today. So that going on as well. Generally though, like it's just the moon and Mars, this can just really like just make us feel a little irritable. And with Mercury or with the sun and Uranus also together, this is like that anxious tension, like that high speed, like nervous energy and sort of feeling like something's about to happen. Like maybe today we're sort of feeling like, you know, we've kind of made our mind up with Mercury and the moon together in Gemini, like our thoughts and our feelings kind of in alignment. Like we've kind of made our mind up about things and, you know, we know what we want now and we know that we want to move forward towards getting it, but we may just be experiencing some conflict today in regards to how we can actually make that possible for ourselves. And, you know, it may be irritating us a little bit, or our external situations and circumstances could be irritating us a little bit in this energy, sort of making us like project out. And again, we just want to be careful and not sort of like put our foot in our mouth or bite off more than we can chew, or like just totally jump off the deep end before we're prepared and just sort of get some blowback as a result of that, because that could also be happening in this energy. With the sun and Uranus together, you guys, I'm telling you, things are just going to happen. Like they're just going to fall into place. And we may be inspired to take some type of spontaneous action, and that's fine in this energy as long as it is something that we have thought through and it's not something that we are just like feeling all like that it's coming from a place of anger or hostility or aggression or a desire to like express our rage or something in some type of way. Like that is not what our motivation needs to be for making changes in this energy. So that is basically what we're working with today specifically. Now, there's a few more things that I want to say. We also had Pluto station retrograde recently in the sign of Capricorn. Now, this in conjunction with everything else that we have going on at this point in time and us being in eclipse season and all of that, this is really bringing some intense inner transformations that are going on, that are pushing for some type of like inner purge, inner regeneration, inner transformation, inner release from a lot of like the deep and like more tumultuous feelings and subconscious programming of the past. This may be resurfacing some old wounds, some like very, very deep emotions, but whatever is coming up in this Pluto retrograde energy is happening so that a really deep and profound and internal transformation that can go on and can unfold. And this also, you know, makes sense in the context of the South Node right now also being in the sign of Scorpio, ruled by Pluto. And the South Node, this is what we need to release and let go of and move on from, because it's really been having a strong hold on us. The South Node is the lessons that we've learned and what we're very comfortable with, and the things that, you know, we have become very accustomed to operating within, but are holding us back from maximizing our growth and reaching our potential in one way or another. Well, now with Pluto going retrograde, the South Node in Scorpio, this is really a time of purge, purification, release, transformation on some very, very deep levels in regards to the things that have been keeping us out of our power in the past. This energy is trying to actually bring us a greater and stronger sense of inner power, self-control, self-authority, self-discipline in the sign of Capricorn as well. Like this energy is really trying to help us gain a greater sense of self-empowerment and an ability to exercise that self-control, to practice that self-discipline, and to use that actually as a tool that helps us in our self-mastery right now as we are on this year that is characterized by the Chiron archetype, by the hero's journey, and we are moving into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of self-mastery, the age of self-empowerment, the age of self-knowledge and self-enlightenment. And this Pluto retrograde energy right now in the very end of Capricorn is really sort of leveling the old world, I guess we could say, in one type of way. Our previous paradigm really being reformed, I guess you could say, with this energy. And this also applies to like the greater macrocosm in the world stage. We could see a lot of real tangible breakdowns beginning to occur right now in terms of the old established orders of things, the old power structures and authorities, power and control dynamics. All that type of stuff is up for rectification now in this energy. And also, of course, with the sun coming into a conjunction with Uranus this week and Pluto being retrograde as well, we really may start seeing some big changes happening now that are making our trajectory into this age of Aquarius energy more obvious and apparent to us, like in our physical, tangible world. Remember, I also said that we also have Jupiter moving into the sign of Aries right now, which is also going to be like getting things going in this direction very much. I mean, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. This is sort of representing a very expanded, fresh start at things. And it's also going to be expanding like courage and assertiveness and our desire to act as well in conjunction with Venus, motivation, willpower, independence, and a desire to fight for truth is coming with Jupiter on the brink of entering the sign of Aries as well. And with Venus and Aries, this Pluto retrograde, this South Node in Scorpio, this Sun conjuncting Uranus. While remember, we also have the North Node in Taurus, the sign where Uranus and the Sun are right now. Some very fated, destined realignments and changes going on right now that are really breaking down our previous paradigms, our previous attitudes, mindsets, beliefs, perceptions of ourselves, deeply held and rooted like subconscious thought patterning and stuff like that. Very much so breaking down in this energy and leveling the playing field for us, essentially making way for our growth in a radically new direction. The Sun and Uranus in the sign of Taurus, that is helping us to really activate destiny and move in this new direction in alignment with what can truly bring us like our soul's version of ultimate heart-based fulfillment, moving through this 222 year, which is very much trying to help us out and do those things for us. So that is really what we have going on in terms of the chart, in terms of the energy that we have going on today. Also, as I mentioned, Mercury is preparing to station retrograde as well in this next couple of days that we have going on. But for today, more of this very fast, high-paced energy. We're likely to be very busy, sort of flying around back and forth. Nervous energy, nervous tension, anxiety may be running a bit strong today. We really want to try to stay grounded despite this very high speed, high pitch, high frequency energy. And again, we really want to be practicing the self-discipline and the self-control and not acting out of anger or acting out of impulse or acting out of just like an explosive like feeling as a result of some irritation or some annoyance that's going on within us, because it can just create situations that we don't want to have to deal with later in this energy. And again, these conflicts, these arguments, these debates, these going back and forth situations that could be coming up definitely could be involved with the Venus, Taurus themes. And also, we could just be experiencing an aspect of something like disturbing our peace and like really bothering us a bit today. But with Pluto retrograde, it really is about us. And in the sign of Capricorn, our job right now is to practice the self-discipline, practice the self-control, really gain a deep understanding of what is operating under the surface of our own psyche and not allow that to be sort of dictating our actions and our words and our behaviors, but really gaining a greater sense of self-mastery over our words, over our actions, over our thoughts, over what's going on inside of our mind and what's coming out of our mouth, and our ability to create our own experiences based on this self-empowerment coming from this place of self-control, as opposed to us sort of being like steered around by our subconscious mind and our emotional responses to things, and therefore like living the consequences of our lack of self-mastery and self-control. So that, I feel like, is really what the lessons are for us today coming through in this energy. And again, with Mars at that degree, an officer drilling his men in a simulated attack, a lot of the aggression or the perceived attacks that we may be dealing with today are not necessarily what they appear to be. There is definitely this energy of misunderstandings causing some conflict or some like just issues for us today as well. Another thing that I wanted to mention before I get into the tarot, we do have the Earth today at 14 degrees of Scorpio. That Sabian symbol is telephone linesman at work installing new connections. And I find this degree to be very ironic in the context of what we have going on today. All of this Gemini Mercury energy about communication, connection, like the telephone, absolutely ruled by Mercury, Gemini, that mental energy. And also the Sun and Uranus together, this would definitely rule like new connections in terms of things flying through the air, like the airwaves, the telephone signals, like the connections going back and forth. And I feel like this being the position of the Earth today, I feel like it's talking about on the ground, like we're in the process of really realigning with the connections, the relationships, the interactions, the encounters, the situations, the opportunities that are helping us move forward in this new direction. Coming from, again, remember, a lot of what is driving this is a newly recognized sense of internal value and self-worth and self-love, and recognizing the power that that actually gives us and the resources that represents and the ability that that gives us to really stand in our power and be much less needy of like external power sources where we may have just been dependent in the past. This is really, this energy right now generally is really trying to show us the truth of our own value and what that represents and the power that gives us to create and to sustain ourselves in this reality without having to surrender our power to any type of like external authority or power source or figure as a result of lack that we may have perceived inside of us. And the telephone linesman at work installing new connections, when we have all of this Gemini, Mercury, Uranus energy going on today, I really feel like that is what's happening. Things are being realigned and put back together in a way that is much more conducive to our optimal growth, development, expression, and ability to relate to ourselves, others, spirit, and the divine going forward. Also, one last symbol I wanted to say today, we do have Mercury still, slowing down 3 degrees of Gemini, the Garden of the Tuileries in Paris. So this is also making me think, Mercury, ruler of Gemini, where the moon is today, forming the square to Mars. This is also sort of making me think that whatever conflict or whatever irritation going on today, it could be disrupting the peace, disrupting the balance, disrupting the beauty, or disrupting the image that we wish to project or to embody in one way or another in this energy. So wanted to mention that as well. But in a nutshell, you guys, that's pretty much what we have going on. Week of dynamic change, very, very busy communication, information week, day going on today, and could be bringing up some of this conflict, these fights, these arguments, whatever, but things are being divinely realigned right now. And with Venus having moved into Aries, this could be, disturbing our peace in some type of a way, but we want to make sure that we are not the ones that are disturbing our own peace through overreacting or being overly sensitive to things. So we want to keep that in mind as well. Now let's jump into the tarot cards for today, you guys, and talk about the message from the tarot that came out. Really very, very interesting message that came out of the tarot today. This is like, oh my goodness. I got some good feelings about what may be coming for us this week in the context of this energy and this Taurus cycle that we have going on. Shuffling the deck this morning, asking God, Spirit, Universe, please give me some symbolism to clarify the collective energy of what's going on right now. We got like a whole bunch of just really beautiful cards coming out. The first card that came out of the deck is the Empress. This is about abundance, you guys. Ultimately, this is also a card that rules Taurus. So this coming out, I feel like this is talking about this Taurus cycle that we're in right now. The next card that came out was the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So, this to me is talking about that perceived lack of value that we may have had going on, but is in the process of being rectified right now. And then the card that we had coming out after that was the Queen of Wands. And then the card after that, you guys, was the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. And then on the back of the deck we had the Six of Wands. This is the victory card. So ultimately, when I put this energy together, what this is saying to me is that we are in a time right now, you guys, of like really a return of fertility, creativity, abundance, love. Like unconditional love and this heart-based energy. This is what we've been going through. Venus, Neptune, and Jupiter together in the sign of Pisces while we're in Taurus season, activating this Empress vibration really collectively. Now, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, we may at this point in time still be in this, still feel like a sort of lack of like physical security or like financial support, or, you know, be questioning, you know, the truth of our value still in this energy. But coming out after that with the Queen of Wands, there is simultaneously this creative inspiration, this creative, like this passionate energy. Venus and Aries, you guys, that's the Queen of Wands for sure. Like Venus and Aries coming through and reminding us of all of our potential to grow in, to create with these resources that we hold within us, this abundance, this fulfillment, everything this 222 year is trying to bring us. So, you know, we may still be feeling a little like out of place. Like maybe we have, you know, we have this creative passion, we have this creative inspiration, like we're feeling passionate about moving forward. Maybe the only hiccup really holding us back right now is we're still trying to really wrap our head around the value and the worth and the resources that we hold within us. And maybe that is sort of what is bringing up this conflict today a little bit. We might feel, you know, really inspired to move ahead, but maybe we don't feel like we have the resources or the money or the like material support or in some way or another to really do that. But with the Six of Wands coming out on the back of the deck, this is victory. This is victory over our circumstances. This is, you know, being on our high horse after all of this and, you know, being like, patted on the back for it in a type of way, like people noticing and people acknowledging our victory and our success over whatever we're dealing with. So ultimately, you guys, this is definitely talking about this open-hearted, creative, nurturing, like, energy that we are in right now that is really trying to help us to birth a new version of ourselves. And there may be this conflict coming up today in terms of what we feel inspired to do, the empowerment that we're feeling in being able to create and to move forward in these new pursuits, but maybe some, like, again, these financial issues, resource-based issues, or time-based issues as well, with it being the Pentacles and the Earth signs, or just our physical reality maybe like interfering with this in some type of a way that could be bringing up some type of an internal conflict. But it's like we are understanding that this is going to be resolved and the potential is like unlimited for our success in this energy. And universe is telling us that we are going to be successful in these pursuits. And, you know, we did have the Empress coming out first. So, and with all, again, this is all very, very strongly like feminine energy, an emphasis being placed on the divine feminine archetype, the heart-based center, and the need still to really realign with and recognize the truth of our value. And that is what will move us forward to achieving and manifesting physically, materially, that value, that abundance, those resources in whatever way that makes sense to us personally. And a victory is like assured, these cards are saying. This is a really beautiful message that we have coming through in the tarot today. So I don't know what is going on with you guys, what you're all working on, what you're involved in right now. What, you know, this is also could be speaking of, you know, relationships and just generally with the Empress, what we're birthing, what we're creating, what we're aligning with on in terms of our heart, what we're nurturing, what we're giving our energy to at this point in time. It is going to grow into something very successful, these cards are saying. So I don't know what you guys are all involved in right now, but it looks like it's going to have a successful outcome. Very, very much so in this energy with what we got going on today. So, you know, we might be feeling a little like, we might be feeling a little irritated and like we just maybe need to like snap on somebody or something like that in this energy. But we need to remember that we are on a trajectory right now that is heading towards like tangible physical, material success in some type of a way. That's the message that is coming out in the cards in association with the astrology that we have going on right now. And remember, we do have Uranus and the sun in a conjunction in Taurus. Expect the unexpected in regards to financial matters, things being realigned materially in a way that can lead to our optimal growth, optimal success. Optimal growth, 10 of Pentacles, optimal success, 6 of Wands. So that's what the cards are saying in conjunction with the astrology. Now let's grab our last card, a synchronicity card, and see what additional message God, Spirit, Universe wants us to know as we navigate this energy today. Sorry, the lighting is looking so weird right now, you guys. I'm trying a new schedule and I'm actually recording very early in the morning now. I used to record sort of mid-morning, early afternoon, but I'm recording now in the early morning and the sun is coming through these windows over here and is causing this very crazy lighting situation going on, and there's nothing I can do about it at the moment. So that's why. That's that. Okay, so is there one that wants to come out? There it is. I just had to ask, you see? All right. This card says, oh, you guys, are you kidding? It says, watch your thoughts. All this Gemini energy that we have going on today, watch your thoughts. Yes. Look diligently lest any man fail of the grace of God. Hebrews 12:15. Be diligent and watchful over your thoughts. Let God's Spirit guide you and direct you. Continue moving forward. Oh my God. Oh my God. It literally says victory will be yours. You guys, where is it? Where is it? 6 of Wands. This is the card of victory and success. Victory will be yours. This is the card that was on the back of the deck. And this synchronicity card literally says victory will be yours. Again, I don't know what you guys are working on. I don't know what you're creating. I don't know what you're involved in right now. But this is the second indication today that whatever is going on right now, whatever we're growing, whatever we're creating, whatever we're building, whatever we're trying to bring into fruition at this point in time, it says victory will be yours. And again, we just need to watch our thoughts. We need to make sure that we are not shooting ourselves in the foot, essentially, by overreacting to just an annoying emotion or something like that. And we don't want it to allow us to sort of spiral into these negative thought loops and feeling attacked and being overly sensitive again and all of that. Remember, Mars, the officer drilling his men in a simulated attack. Things are not necessarily as they appear today. Conflict and misunderstanding, or conflicts regarding misunderstanding or misinterpretation or miscommunication could be going on. It's a simulated situation. There could be this conflict going on that's not even actually a conflict. So we just don't want to let our mind go in those directions or too emotionally attach in this energy. But that's the advice from the synchronicity cards today from God. Watch your thoughts. Victory will be yours. Advice from the tarot also said, victory will be yours. This divine feminine energy being rectified. There may be some financial material issues, feeling out of our financial and material power at this point in time. The Queen of Pentacles was the only reversal, but this is also being rectified. Uranus and the sun together in the sign of Taurus, and Venus now moving into Aries. That Queen of Wands really lighting that fire underneath us to start pursuing our passions could be bringing up this inner conflict today, but we just need to be a little bit patient and make sure that we have a proper plan going on and in place. That planning is very good as well in the sign when the moon is in the sign of Gemini. So, putting our energy towards stuff like that if we have time and all of this busy energy that we have going on. But continue moving forward. Victory will be yours. And that's what we got going on today, you guys. So that is the message from the stars, the message from the cards. I hope you guys liked it. I hope I was able to provide something of value for you that can help you as you navigate your day today in one way or the other. If you guys did like it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested. Leave me comments. You guys, I absolutely love your comments. Thank you so much for being here. I honestly, genuinely, sincerely appreciate each and every single one of you. you. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social media stuff. Those are in my description box below. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys. This is going to be a big day tomorrow. Sun conjoining Uranus, and we'll have a lot of astrology to talk about. So you don't want to miss it. I will be here. You should be here too. And remember, victory is yours, you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.